Howdy, howdy, folks. It is Diecastbuffet here again. Chris Buescher wins at Richmond. His third career win, his second win with Roush, Fenway, Kozlowski, whatever the biff you want to call it nowadays. Make sure to pre-order that 164 and 124 diecast. Pretty sure the 164 is going to be offered. That race win going to be really awesome. What an awesome win for Roush. Super cool to see that. Of course, you can use the promo code down below. You know what to do with that. But regardless, we're going to be talking about this race today. And, oh boy, I got more spicy opinions. So I'm just going to get this out of the box already. If you enjoy Richmond, I respect your opinion. If you enjoy the style of racing we see at Richmond, I respect your opinion. But to me, Richmond needs to go. Yeah, crazy, right? To me, Richmond, I don't know, man. For years and years and years, I've given this track plenty of chances. It struggled in the Gen 6 era, and it just slowly got worse and worse and worse and worse. Literally nothing happened for 380 laps, and it was like 20 to go, and they had a caution, or 20 to 10 to go, something like that. And Richmond has became somewhat notorious for having this as of lately. We remember when Alex Bowman stole the win from the Toyotas, and now you have Chris Buescher who wins. You know, not that he didn't steal the win or nothing. He actually deserved this one completely. Right, a win's a win, but it just seems like there's always a late race restart and a crazy chaos that ensues after that. But for 380 laps, nothing happened. There was no caution for incident. It was 2 stage breaks. You pretty much, on the restarts, were crazy. That's, expected at any, NASCAR Cup Series event. But after 10 laps they have ran, after the restart, if you had the lead, you were stuck there. It didn't matter if you were the number 6 car, the 17 car, the 45 car, or even the 23 car. Once you were out front after 10 laps of the restart, you were set. You were done. You were going to be dominant, clean air, track position. To me, Richmond needs to go. That's my honest opinion. Either reconfigure it, add some banking, get some speed into the track. That's going to change it up. Or get it off the Cup Series schedule entirely. That's my honest opinion. I'm all for saving racetracks. I'm done with Richmond Raceway. I'm sorry. Every single year, it's a snooze fest. I said this in last week's video. Oh, we seen a great race at Pocono, but get ready for Richmond. It's going to be nothing. And sure enough, we get an epic winner. That's awesome. But the actual quality of the race, it could be Chase Elliott could win this race, and I would still be harping about it. The quality of racing, in my honest opinion, was crap. The tire strategy was the only thing that was somewhat interesting throughout the whole event. The restarts, yeah, they're great, but when isn't a restart, exciting, right? After it, 10 laps later, I mean, you could just hear the things the announcers were talking about. They're just trying to fill air. They're just begging for a caution. Give me something to talk about. I'm telling you, man, to me, Richmond, it needs to go. I don't care anymore. It needs to go. We could have went to Road America. The Road America Xfinity race was a classic. It was a classic, dude. Wow. I mean, it wasn't a super wreck fest at some portions as well. It was just good, clean racing. Hard, racing for the lead. Passing, you dive bomb in the corner, the braking zones. It's amazing how, one lap at Road America, you could pick any lap you want. It could be the first lap, middle lap. It could be the last lap. The last lap was crazy. But it just seemed like one lap at Road America had more excitement, more action, more hard racing than both the truck race and the cup race combined. That's how bad it was. The truck race, nothing happened. Long green flag runs. It would have been nothing completely if Ty Majeski didn't screw up on pit road. But, of course, Carson Hocevar ran him down. That opened up the strategy, book between old tires and new tires, which is the only thing Richmond offers. My point is that Xfinity, trucks, and Cup Series struggle at this one racetrack when the Xfinity Series and the trucks can go to Martinsville, Bristol. Trucks ran good at North Wilkesboro, right? They go to these other flatter tracks, IRP, Gateway, New Hampshire, doesn't matter. They run really good. The Cup Series goes there, and then they have an absolutely horrible event. So my point is, it's the Cup cars. We know this, but I feel like it's actually Richmond as well, because it was this bad in the Gen 6 era for a lot of races. They would hype it up. Oh, it's the playoff cutoff race. Oh, it's going to be a beating, banging race. It's going to be the O2 Bristol night race. There's going to be fists flying and everything. And then it's like insert Hamlin or Brad Kay in like 2015, 2016 that leads 350 laps and nothing happens, right? The COT races were a lot better, but they weren't like unbelievable. You know, it's just, this is what Richmond is. To me, it's time to get rid of the track. Send it to IndyCar. I bet you IndyCar would put a fantastic show at Richmond. They wanted to actually do a race. I think it was for 2020 or 2021. Then I think the pandemic changed that. Not sure on that. But I do know they had a lot of talks of going to Richmond. I would be interested to see that. But for me, Cup Series racing, I'm done with it. At Richmond, I knew this was going to be a bland, boring race. That's really what it is. Nothing happened. I'm just telling you, we could have went to Chicagoland, Road America, could have went to a Charlotte Oval race. Heck, they could run a parking lot outside of an abandoned Kmart and have more action than this. This race, to me, it needs to get off the schedule. Not just one race date. I'm talking both race dates. And it's going to be like this until the Gen 7 car is around. And if Gen 8, which could be a decade from now, is even similar to a sports car, which I honestly think, this is going to sound crazy, guys, but I think in the long-term future, NASCAR's probably going to have a companion race with sports cars. Don't be surprised 10 years from now they have a companion race with sports cars, because clearly the next-gen car is designed for Le Mans. This is not something they're just doing for publicity. There is probably some in the works years and years and years from now, probably for an international audience. You could see a sports car race. My point is, Gen 8 is probably going to be very similar to Gen 7 10 years from now. You never know, it could age like milk. Short track racing is not going to get better if you put a sports car on a short track. That's what it is. So if we're going to have this style car, I don't care what the horsepower is, what the splitter is, the rear diffuser, the physical mass of the car doesn't race well at short tracks. It's not going to get better. I'm just saying. So to me, reconfigure Richmond, put a buttload of banking in the corner, make this a fast racetrack, get some speed in these cars. The next-gen cars have been proven. It is proven. Go watch every 1.5 mile race, every 2 mile race, and every Pocono race. And get this, every single time they go to these bigger tracks, 1.5 mile plus, they race 10 times more aggressive than they do at short tracks. Does it make any sense to me? No, but that's how these cars race. The faster the cars are, the harder they race, the more... Let's just look at the restarts at, like, Michigan. They're going to be 2 and 3 wide, beating and banging. Look at Pocono last week. I mean, they're leaning on each other 3 wide into the tunnel turn. And then you go to Richmond, and nothing happens. Just keeping it real, guys. Keeping it real. To me, this was probably the worst race of the year, excluding the All-Star race, because that was worse, believe it or not. But that was a small field of cars. I think Dale Jr. said it pretty well. Short track racing in the Cup Series is in a bad spot. And if they don't fix it, which I personally don't think nothing they can do can fix it, because it is the physical mass of the car, short track racing is, for as far as the Cup Series is going down, look at the SRX racing. Holy cow. They have, get this, I want to end the video on this. They have 12 or 13 cars. They have like a 100-lap race. And they have more passing, crashing, beating and banging, tempers, everything you can imagine. With a 12-car race, I might add, on a, like, what is it, like 0.4 mile short track, could be flat, could have banking, and it had more action than 400 laps in the Cup Series race today, and then yesterday's Truck Series race combined. How does that work? I have no idea, but that's what I'm saying. These Cup cars, they don't run good at short tracks. Richmond, to me, doesn't run good with any vehicle, maybe only open wheel, at least modern day Richmond. Enough of me ranting. What do y'all think, guys? Make sure to comment down below. If you love the race, that's great. The tire strategy is interesting, but it doesn't bear enough fruit. I mean, the grandstands, they didn't look, they look better than they did years ago, but there's a much better crowd at Pocono last weekend for a reason. Just keeping it real. Just keeping it real. To me, take it off the Cup Series schedule, reconfigure it, give it to IndyCar. I don't care. The racing is not good there anymore, especially with the Cup Series. Thank y'all so much for watching. Huge congratulations to Christopher Buescher, or Chris Buescher, whichever you prefer. It's pretty cool to see him win. That's the only thing that's going to make this event look good. It's like last year at the Martinsville Fall Race. Like, Hamlin, I think, led like 300 or 400 laps, didn't win the race. Chastain's melon move happens, and everybody thinks it's the greatest Martinsville race ever, but if you go back and watch it, it was bad. It was bad. Chastain definitely saved that, and then, oh, by the way, Bell won the race. So my point is the winner usually dictates a lot of the fan opinion about things, but let me tell you, this was a hard race to watch. They should have called it the NyQuil 400, the MyPillow 400, because I was falling asleep. And I'm a huge NASCAR fan. This race was bad, yo. Thank y'all so much for watching. Have a blessed one, everybody. Diecast Buffet, signing off.